Hey everybody, how are you? It is I, the one who sort of started the whole Goth reacts to blah on the internet. No, I did not invent reaction videos, but I did start this kind of chain of Goth reacts to videos a while ago, and it's been actually a really long time since I've done a reaction video, I think. As I've said many times, I don't like to think of it as a reaction. I prefer to think of it as more of a as it happens opinion piece or review. I'll watch the thing with you and we'll have opinions about it at the same time. Maybe you're familiar with the works of Lisa Ladouceur. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly for once. She's had a couple of very popular videos on YouTube which have been 40 years of men's goth fashion, 40 years of women's goth fashion, 40 years of goth shoes, and I've done reaction videos to all of those, so it's become a tradition now. So pretty much whatever she puts out, I have to do a reaction to it, just because it's obligatory now. I've been really looking forward to seeing her latest creation, which is about specifically Victorian Gothic fashion, which is one of my areas of expertise, because I'm very into, as if you hear me talk about it all the goddamn time, historical fashion in general. I try and weave a lot of Victorian into my everyday look. I always describe my own personal style as being a kind of funereal mash of 1980s and 1880s, if that makes any sense. 1980s and 1880s, so it's 80s, but yeah. And I'm one of those annoying people that when I watch a period piece on TV or at the movies, I will notice historical inaccuracies and be a real dick about them. I think this video that Lisa's made, I'm just guessing, is comparing the actual Victorian kind of mourning fashion, so like when Victorians would wear all black, to how modern goths have adopted Victorian fashion into, it's sort of its own branch of Gothic fashion is Victorian goth, or even Edwardian goth. I think it's very, very beautiful. A lot of people try and go for, and here's where I'm gonna be a dick, like here's me being a dick, but a lot of people will try and go for accuracy. A lot of people will try and make their look as authentically Victorian as possible, try and dress Victorian for a picnic or something, but they'll do it so very inaccurately, and there will always be like a reason why it doesn't look right, but most people won't be able to identify why. And I think the main thing that I see all the time, and when people want to dress Victorian, is they'll wear a corset on the outside of their clothes. I don't think you would ever find a Victorian person wearing an undergarment on the outside. Would you wear your underwear on the outside? Also, wearing the hair out, that's another thing I see all the time. Generally women did not wear their hair out unless they were still little girls or they were prostitutes or whatever. That's as far as I know. I'm not an expert, I'm not an historian, but I just am kind of a nerd. So I don't know everything. Correct me by all means if I'm wrong. If I say anything, well, I'm trying to be pedantic and I'm wrong, I always strive to be more pedantic. So if you've got something to teach me, go ahead and do so in the comments. So I'm interested to see what Lisa has done with this video, where she's comparing classic, traditional, proper Victorian fashion with how people have interpreted it these days, or like woven it into modern, there it is, Victorian Gothic style, 1800s mourning versus modern goth. And she does do a very nice job with these videos, they're very professional. I will link below to Lisa's original video so you can go watch it yourself and tell her directly what you thought. As an intelligent woman and a good filmmaker, I'm really keen to see what she's done. How about we just watch it and then we'll have opinions. Underwear. This is like so my aesthetic. I just love. Oh yeah. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. Yeah, the nice modest up hairdo. Alright, yes, this is great. So far, pretty great. Oh, I love Victorian death photography. Whoa, okay. Yeah, it's like so drastically different. See, there we go, we've got a corset on the outside, wearing underwear as clothes. Wow, she looks amazing though. It's like really, I guess you'd call it Victorian inspired, but to me it looks kind of like, you know, Victorian bordello inspired really. Is that the path we've gone down? Just the sexy corsets and Yeah. Are these the only two outfits in this video? Maybe. An alternate timeline. Okay. Great. Well, there she is. Oh. How sweet. Yeah, I feel like there are... Well, the outfit on the right would definitely never pass as socially acceptable in the 19th century. That was short and sweet. Honestly, I would have liked to have seen more interpretations, because there are many different varieties of modern Victorian goth. I think there's not just the wearing the sexy corset on the outside. I think in general most people will go for like a long kind of bustle skirt. I think, you know, she looked amazing, she looked beautiful, that model, but I feel like that sort of to me felt a bit more burlesque-y, kind of show stage words showgirl, burlesque, sexy kind of, I don't know how to make words anymore, I've forgotten how to speak English. There's a lot of these sort of blouses around, like that's something I would have included. It's really common. Like I've got a whole section in my wardrobe of just these like Victorian inspired blouses that are black, and there's a lot of that sort of thing around, and skirts that are kind of inspired by bustle skirts. I've got a whole bunch of those as well, so they're kind of like a toned down modernized version of a Victorian dress. I would have liked to have seen more than the one interpretation of the modern Victorian Gothic. I don't want to be all like critical and mean or anything, but no, it was short and sweet. It was nice. It was quite startling. I'm not disappointed, I just don't think it's what I expected. Just because Lisa's videos have been like, you know, she's done several different looks in all her other videos, I'm just a little surprised that she only did one. Plenty of directions one can go, plenty of ways in which one can be influenced by the 1800s and weave that into their modern look. Fascinators and mini hats are like a huge thing at festivals and parties. Like, hang on, wait. Here's a nice example of the kind of skirt that I'm trying to describe. This one's from Burlesque. So it's kind of like, it's a straight down modern skirt, but it's inspired by Victorian fashion, I think. Like, it's not something that you could have worn in the past, but is now what's kind of considered old-fashioned looking. Does that make any sense? And blouses like this, like, I think that's really more of a common choice. It's really like underwear. Like, actually, I don't think that the girl at the beginning was wearing a corset, was she? Like, I mean, everybody wore a corset, as far as I know. You've always had to get the shape, get the silhouette going on. I think corsets can look very beautiful. Corsets as fashion, all for them, you know. I think they look amazing. I'm a big fan of waist cinches, like the little waspies or the underbust corset. I think they're a nice addition to an outfit, and I have a few really nice ones. I've also got corsets that go under the clothes, and they're probably the ones that I wear the most often, the ones that are falling to pieces, because they're the ones I wear the most often, the ones that go under clothes. And maybe it's just because I've done so much reading and research about historical fashion, but to me, in my mind, a corset is something that goes under clothes. That's why it bothers me so much when I see people trying to dress Victorian accurately and wearing a corset on the outside. I don't really know what else I can possibly say, except that I thought maybe there would be more than one outfit in that video. Not such a showgirly kind of burlesque sort of look like that. Like I said, that was an amazing look, but there are definitely different versions that you see out there. I think I'm a good example because, like I said, I really try and mash Victoriana into my everyday style, and I know that I'm not alone in that. I have friends who do the same thing, who will combine Victorian fashion with modern fashion, or like, you know, 80s trad goth fashion. I think those things work really well together. It's not that difficult to do, to sort of mesh those styles and make them work, in my opinion. I do think that there are different ways in which that fashion has influenced the modern goth, but just a bit miffed, I suppose, that video wasn't as thorough as I expected it was going to be. Yes, maybe that's not quite the word I want, but again, I'm forgetting how to speak English apparently. I'm just a bit miffed that video did not sort of explore further how the modern Victorian goth is inspired by the original Victorian mourners. Victorian mourning is just so beautiful. It's a big source of inspiration for me. Why don't you tell us below what you thought of the video, and like I said, I'll put the link below so you can go see Lisa's video and tell her what you thought yourself. Yeah, she really does always do such a good job of putting these videos together. If you haven't seen her other videos, I do suggest that you do. They're very interesting, and if you like, you can watch watch my reactions to them. My As It Happens opinion pieces. I feel like my accent sounds extra Kiwi today. I don't know why that is. Or maybe it's just I'm more aware of it or something. I don't know. I spent the last month in Scotland and England and Ireland, and hearing all these other accents made me very aware of my own, which is awful. Ugh. New Zealand accents are like me. So thank you very much to Lisa Luddyser for creating another lovely video for us to watch together. I just wish it had been a bit longer. I think that's, yeah, if it had been a bit longer and explored more of how one look has made its way into the other. Maybe it's just because I was really looking forward to this video for quite a long time. Since she announced it, I was like, ooh, that's my thing. If you have not already done so, please do subscribe to my channel. Come and join us. And as always, take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Give me deliverance, deliver me, give me